Hi everyone! Today we're leaving Teresina and we are super excited for the next destination that we're going to visit. It is called Lençóis Maranhenses, and from what we have seen online, it is an amazing place. We are really looking forward to visiting this place. We are supposed to have around 7 hours of driving, but of course it's going to be a bit longer than that with the stops and everything else. So we're starting very early. It's 7 o'clock now and we are hoping we can get to our hotel by around 4 p.m. So let's hit the road. We've been driving for almost 2 hours now. We stopped somewhere earlier to get coffee, and it was actually the first time we could get Canadian size coffee, which is big, what we are used to, because usually the cups are this size. We actually bought 2 of this. I already had one, and now we're gonna have this one. The road condition is okay. Drivers, not okay. Very aggressive. Everybody is speeding. Everybody wants to pass you. Another thing that is very interesting I wanted to mention is the highways in Brazil. Most of the time they don't go from outside of the little cities or villages. They go through those little cities and villages along the way. And this is one of the reasons why, for example, a distance that in North America would take, let's say, 1 hour, in Brazil takes like 2 hours. Because all of these urban areas that you go through along the highway, you have to slow down. The speed limit has to come down to around 40 kilometers an hour. And before that, you slow down. During the time that you are on the highway, also sometimes there are like factories, farms, and they put sensors for the speed and the cameras, so you have to slow down. That's why, for example, in Canada, our point of reference is always Canada. 100 kilometers, you would do it almost in an hour. In Brazil, that's not the case. It would be at least an hour and a half or 2 hours to go like 100 kilometers. And that's why it takes longer. Sometimes the condition of the road also doesn't help. A lot of speed bumps, and worse than that, potholes, which are not convenient, but I think at some point, some places they don't want to also fix it, so that they kind of force people to slow down. Now let's hit the road again.
So last night when we were researching about like which road to take to go from Teresina to Barreirinhas, that is the city where we are staying, the next place to go and visit Lençóis Maranhenses. Google Maps was giving us like 3 options. One from like BR 343 and 223, which is like BR, which means that are roads that they cross states. So it would be like from Piauí to Ceará. Then another one option was like to go from a road completely on the state of Piauí up to Lençóis Maranhenses. Then of course they're taking another road inside of the state of Maranhão. And then a third option was a road on the state of Maranhão. Then I watched some videos on YouTube, and then I read some comments, and then everybody was saying to avoid actually any road that would go through the state of Maranhão because of the road conditions, and that it wouldn't be that bad. Actually it would be full of potholes, and basically no roads, only potholes. So then this morning, when we put the address on Waze, then the Waze was giving us only like 2 options, one from the state of Maranhão and one from like BR through the roads that they cross the states through BR 223 and 343. And then we chose this one, the BR 343, which is actually the road that we took to get to Teresina from Jericoacoara when we were there. So most of the time we are actually traveling back from the same road that we took to go to Teresina, but actually the road is not that bad, and there is, from what I was actually also reading, there is less trucks in this road, so it's better like for small cars or for like travelers, and less truck and less traffic than the other options that Google Maps were giving us. So the roads in Brazil, they are divided mostly like I think in many other countries they would be the same, but every time that you see a BR and a number, it means that they are federal roads. They are taken care of by the federal government, and they cross states. And then the states, they also have their own roads inside of the state, and they are like named after their abbreviation of the state. So if the state of Piauí, so it's a PI, then a number. If it's Maranhão, it's MA, then a number. If it's Santa Catarina, like my state, it's SC, then a number. And these roads, they just happen to be inside of the states. They don't cross states. But every time that you see a BR, then you know that that road is crossing states. Like, and there is like a BR 101. It's one of the main. It is the main road in the whole country, and it crosses the whole, like from Rio Grande do Norte to Rio Grande do Sul. It crosses the whole country. Traffic, no trucks, no other cars, and mostly straight. The road is also good, no?
Yeah, not that many potholes like before. In the beginning, yeah, there were a lot of potholes, but now no, it's just flat and basically empty.
Yeah, it's empty and straight. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it's like a huge, a long straight line all the way, and green everywhere. And actually also, like, we also have like side roads all the way so far, like different from other roads that when we're coming, and there is a long period of no side roads at all, just the road to go and then to come back. So all of a sudden it starts raining, and then I think it was just like one cloud, because now there is no rain anymore, and actually a little bit further we can actually see some sun coming up. So that's the crazy weather that we just see here. Rain, sun, cloudy, all at the same time. And what do you think about driving?
Oh my god. Now it's empty, but as I mentioned before, earlier this morning, when we were closer to Teresina, the speeding and cars passing, it was really, really bad. Now it's very, very good. I was even worried that I fall asleep because it's too boring. It's just flat and straight, and there's no traffic, so no, can't complain.
So as Barry mentioned before, we passed through a lot of little cities like this through the whole way, and then as you saw, the speed limit is like 70 kilometers. So all of this slows down the trip. So when we see that the distance from one city to another, like for example now that we are traveling is around 400 kilometers, we would think that would be like around 4 hours trip. But unfortunately, because we go through these little cities and the speed limit is much lower, so it ends up almost doubling the time. So it'd be around like 6 to 8 hours to actually get to our destination instead of just 4 hours. That's what we actually were used to in Canada. And we go through a lot of these shortcuts too. So everything is made to slow down the trip and take longer to get to the destination. And these are the roads like that. They don't have any side road. They are very narrow. There is only like one lane to go and then one lane in the other direction. And the vegetation, like they're almost like taking on. They are on the lane, taking over the lane and the road. And as you can see, like, and there is not much space for to pass the other car in front because it's extremely narrow. This is Paranaíba River, the one that from Teresina we saw it, and then up to here. But here it is much bigger, much larger, wider, and the road with no side road continues. And we enter the state of Maranhão.
Just to show you some examples of potholes on the road, we decided to just slow down and film. These are the potholes that you see, and you have to always constantly maneuver over them. Another one here. And they are deep, like the road is full of them. I don't know if it is neglect or it's because it's hot. The maintenance cannot be done, but either way, it's not very easy to drive and not convenient at all.
So I guess it's not boring anymore.
I know, yeah, you should always look at the glass half full. At least it keeps you alert and you have to constantly pay attention, you know, to just avoid all the potholes. So yeah, now I'm more awake.
Yeah, since we crossed the state and people warned that the roads are not that great in the state of Maranhão. And yes, there is patches, potholes.
Another thing,
like
now you see there is speed bumps, but there are no signs.
Yes.
You don't see it from distance. You don't know it's coming up. A couple of them I missed, so the whole car went ballistic.
See, another one, and there is no
sign
at all, nothing showing that there is speed bump. And then yes, patches or after patches, potholes is speed bumps with no signs. The road is just horrible.
This part of it is
really so far this part, but it's been like what, half an hour?
Yeah,
around like 30 minutes already, and it's
show it.
You see
there is a speed bump here, but there is no sign, nothing. You don't even see it, and then you have to go over. If you're going fast, good luck, you don't see it.
Well, we have to continue anyway.
One more stop on the side of the road. We have been driving for the past hour or so, and we didn't see any restaurants, like the kind of restaurant that we could actually stop and have lunch at. There were like very little restaurants, but nothing like the ones that we usually stop at. So we decided to just stop at the gas station and buy some snacks. We might later go for a late lunch after we get to our hotel and do the check-in. One thing that is interesting, I don't even know why, but today I'm so sleepy. I couldn't sleep well last night, so I'm so sleepy. I feel like I'm just on autopilot. I'm just driving, trying to keep my eyes open. I had a lot of coffee, but for some reason, sleepy. Good thing is we have maybe just a little bit over an hour left. So we did the biggest portion of the drive, and we just have to go maybe 1 more hour. And here are the Brazilian snacks. This is the famous pão de queijo or cheese bread, coxinha, which is with chicken, and this one is potato bread.
Yes, potato bread with requeijão.
Requeijão. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. The like cream. It's
Cheese,
like a dairy,
like
like a
yeah.
cream cheese, no?
Yeah, it's a kind of a cream cheese.
Yeah,
but
the Brazilian one.
Brazilian version
Yeah.
of a cream cheese.
And as if it wasn't Brazilian enough, we also got a guarana, which is a typical soft drink, and it's amazing. So we're gonna have this and then hit the road after. We had the snacks, but before we hit the road, I also wanted to share something else. I don't know if it is because of the quality of the tires in Brazil or the condition of the roads, that there are a lot of bumps. So it's very common that when you come to a gas station, you also have this machine here. And this machine is for the tire pressure. And actually to use it, it's free. Sometimes even the same people that put gas in your car, they also have it next to the pump and they check the tire pressure for you. For us, we have to use tire pressure of 38. So what you do is you come here and you set it at 38. Then you just put it on the car and you check it. You put the air, and then once it reaches the air pressure that you want, the machine will beep. So it is at 38, so for this tire we are good. And then you just continue with the other 3. This is very common in Brazil. Alright, we made it after exactly 8 hours of driving. We left at 7:15 a.m. this morning and we got here at 3:15. This is our bed and breakfast. It's a very little cute place. It's a typical of these little towns in Brazil, very simple. This is our room over there where Leo is. Simple room, nothing special. We are here because in the next 2 videos we are planning to go and visit Lençóis Maranhenses, which we have heard so much about, and I personally am extremely excited. So we hope you enjoyed our road trip. 2 things about the road actually before we finish the video. I told Mariana 2 things. First, after the gas station, when we left, my God, the size of potholes increased exponentially to the point that they were not only on one side of the road, they were so wide that they would cover both lanes, so there was no way you could avoid them. You had to stop and very slowly just go over them, but some of them were so deep. So I told Mariana, I think whoever is in charge of the road, they really wanted to set a Guinness record for worst potholes, because since we have arrived in Brazil, I don't think we have seen a road as bad as this one. That's one thing. Second thing, I really think any mechanic in Brazil that specializes in suspension and shocks of the cars, they should be millionaires, because there are so many speed bumps and so many potholes that I think all the cars, they have to just like fix everything every once in a while. So that being said, we are here and ready for the adventure that will happen in the next couple of days. Make sure you follow us, subscribe to the channel, and those beautiful videos are coming up. See you in the next one.